Hello guys, let's start our lesson about the bar model. Open your booklet, page 46. Let's remember what is the bar model. The bar model is the schematic diagram that represents the relation between the whole and the part. Here we draw the bar model, the whole up and down part 1 and part 2. If I want to get the part, I'm going to make part 1 plus part 2. If I want to get part 2, I'm going to make whole minus part 1. And if I want part 1, I'm going to make whole minus part 2. Here in the example, from the following bar models, we can solve these examples. Here I have in the bar model 10 here in the whole number, means the total. Down part 1, I change it by put a variable x, a, y, any letter. Here in the first example, he put for me a. And in part 2, 2.5. How to get a, the variable a or the part 1a? By make whole minus part 2. So I will write an equation a equal 10 minus 2.5. In example 2, here we have a variable y in the whole and 7.5 in part 1 and 2.5 in part 2. And as we know, between part 1 and part 2, I'm going to make plus. So how to get y? Y equal 7.5 plus 2.5. Here I write an equation. Y equal 7.5 plus 2.5. Example here 3. He put for me 10 here in the whole and 7.5 in part 1, and in part 2 he put a variable m. How to get m? M represent part 2. As we said, part 2, to get part 2, whole minus part 1. So how to write an equation? M equal 10 minus 7.5. So, in general, we can write our rules by here the total up in the bar model and down part 1, down part 2, and between them plus. And if I want to get here part 1, I'm going to make total minus part 2, and if I want to get part 2, I'm going to make total minus part 1. To write an equation, I'm going to write that the total equal part 1 plus part 2. Or part 1 means total minus part 2. Or part 2 means total minus part 2. In the first example, write an equation to represent each story problem using variable n. Add the variable here and then find its value. Use the bar model. Basim takes the bus from Cairo to Tanta. The distance is 92.7 kilometers. That means this is all the distance between Cairo to Tanta. So this is the total distance between the two towns. So I'm gonna write it where, yes, up. This is the place for the total. Let me continue. The bus stops 53.5 kilometers away in the city of Banha to take more passengers. How far is Banha from Tanta? As we said, the bar model consists here up in the total. So I'm going to write 92.7. And the bus stopped at 53. That means this is a part. and I will write the variable n in part 1. How to write the equation? Here, to get n means total minus part 2. So 92.7 minus 53.5. Let me solve it in a draft. I'm going to write 92.7 up minus 53.5 down. Then I will start from the right side. 7 minus 5 equal 2. Decimal minus decimal equal decimal. Can I take 2 from 2? 3? Of course not. So I will borrow from 9 1. 9 will be 8 and 2 will be 12. Now 12 minus 3, it will be 9. 8 minus 5 equal 3. So n equal 39.2. Example B. Adam and his friend Jana were taking a snorkel. He saw a turtle whose length is 0.78 meter. And Jana saw another turtle 0.58 meter longer than the first one. How tall is the turtle that Jana saw? Now, Adam saw the first one 0.78 and Jana saw the another one. That means this is the first part and this is the second part, and I want to get the total. So let me write in the bar model. N is the variable that I want to get it, and the part 1 0.78. 0.58 in part 2. To get n, I will use plus part 1 plus part 2. 0.78 plus 0.58. In a draft, 0.78 plus 0.58. Let me start from the right side. 8 plus 8 equals 16. 6 and carry up 1. 1 plus 7 equal 8. 8 plus 5 equal 13. So I'm going to write 3 and carry up 1. Decimal plus decimal equal decimal. 1 plus 0 equal 1. So n equal 1.36 meter. Thank you for listening. I hope you are enjoyed the video.